Yeah, Hector is a psychiatrist, and he lives a very normal, structured life. I mean, he's very studious, and everything has to be in its place. And he just starts to question his own sort of function in the world. Really, he's charged with making other people happy in a way, and that he's trying to solve their psychosis and neurosis, and he doesn't seem to be getting it right. You know, all his patients seem to be miserable, and for no reason apparently. So he becomes sort of interested in what happiness is and what the nature of it is. Where does it come from? How do you attain it? And he decides to go on this sort of mammoth quest, almost out of the blue, really. I think Hector and Clara have fallen into a kind of pattern which suits them both very, very much. I mean, they're both very happy with the status quo, and I think they could just preserve that moment that they're in right now. They probably would. Thankfully, they're forced to address it, but their life is very neat, very ordered. You know, Clara likes to be the sort of organizer, and Hector likes to be organized. They're codependent, you know, which is a psychiatric category in itself. You know, you go to hospital for codependency, and that's something that Clara and Hector both have. Christopher Plummer was just amazing in that he was kind of, you know, he's a sort of, well, he's a legend. I mean, he's an Oscar-winning, very, very experienced actor who's been in so many films. A lot of the films that I love that he's in, I forgot that he was in until he'd gone. I was chatting to somebody on the set, and I realized that he'd played Rudyard Kipling in The Man Who Would Be King, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I regret not sort of like talking to him about it, but we actually bonded over Star Trek because he played a Klingon in The Undiscovered Country, and I'm currently Scotty, so that was our little way in. And he was just a delight and amazing to watch because he is 83 years old and like a spring chicken, you know. He has the energy and the wit and the sort of joie de vivre of a much, much younger man. Happiness for me is just not having any kind of regrets or any kind of stress. Or you do need those things, you know. You need to know what happiness is by experiencing the opposite of it. But when you get to that state of happiness, that's when those things aren't there. So when, you know, if I'm with my family and I have no worries and I'm in my home in the UK, or we're all together somewhere else, in Greece, we like to go to Greece, or we're in Vancouver or LA or wherever we are, if we're together, that pretty much beats everything, you know. I keep saying to Peter, it's like proper actors in this film, you know. I never really see myself as that. And then there's like Toni Collette and Rosamund Pike and Chris Plummer and Jean Reno and Stellan Skarsgård, you know. It's just, the list goes on, and it's kind of, I feel a bit like, a bit out of my depth. I feel like Hector.